I guess I should mention now that I have been playing Persona Q recently. Fucking awesome. Holy shit. If you like Persona and Persona 3, 4, you fucking buy that game.
Why are we taking this car again, Mitsuru?
Akihiko-san grumbles from the backseat of the Shadow Operative's personal limousine. I'm not sure how to put this, but I find that his feelings are justified.
Don't question it, Akihiko. There was no time to prepare a vehicle with the same equipment. Speaking of appearances, are you gonna wear that again?
Sure. There's a chance that we'll have to fight after all. These clothes give me the flexibility I need.
Impressive, Akihiko-san. You never change.
Or the lack of clothes gives him the flexibility he needs.
Still, to think that the culprit would make a move so soon. We've completely lost the initiative.
Indeed. We need to begin taking measures right now. I only hope no danger comes to Narukami and his friends.
Suicide seems deeply agitated. During the car ride, she seemed distracted. At times, she would flip through the thick file on her lap, only to suddenly give an order to his subordinate, and at other times, she would stare intently at her watch as if lost in thought. The usual regal composure is gone.
Mitsuru-san, why don't we just ask them to cooperate with us?
I agree. They seem pretty strong.
No, they're still young. If I asked for their assistance, it would waste time better spent in school. Worse yet, it would put them in danger. I don't want anyone else to have to go through that anymore.
I understand how you feel, but they don't seem like the kind who'd listen. We were the same way back then.
Mr. Sun falls silent. It's likely not a mistake to think that the sudden spike in shadow activity this time is related to the events of a few days ago. It has become apparent to everyone that another dangerous battle is about to begin.
We have new information. Kikuno sent me a message. I tasked Kikuno with reviewing Ergo Research's quarantine server. But it seems new evidence has come to light regarding Ikutsuki, who we discussed in our earlier conversation. According to the report, it seems Ikutsuki was performing an experiment on his own in the lab directly after the explosion. It's unknown if this is related to our current mission, but there was a record of a plume of dust being used in the experiment.
It is a bad idea. Do the whole FACECAM thing. It's 8 a.m. classes, followed by a day of school, followed by a day of recording.
A plume of dusk.
Plume of dusk, an object that blurs the line between matter and information and is fitted into anti-shadow weapons like myself. It forms the core of our personality modules and is what allows us to control personas, even though we are machines.
So, what are the details of this experiment? Nothing good, I bet.
Ikutsuki was...
The limousine's engine suddenly roars, drowning out further conversation. It seems the road we are taking has begun to climb a steep hillside. As the car takes a winding road up the slope, I can look down through the window and see lush trees along the mountainside. For a moment I thought I sensed a shadow reading. Could have been just my imagination.
Yamagishi, tell me our current location.
One moment. I'm looking it up now. We're currently in Inaba Pass. We're almost at the target coordinates.
Sounds like he's having a hard time getting up that hill, though. What the hell?
What is this? Was that?
What's wrong? An ambush?
What's happening? Driver, what's going on? Answer me!
It's just like during the hijacking.
Agus!
On it! A barrier!
Are we trapped?
Oh my! It looked like Adachi, but I don't think it was, because it looked like... I think it was supposed to be just a random driver. Battle with Merlian? The honor student. Oh man. So, do I go with the #1 waifu? Because hot damn, the car is the greatest. Or... This is a great personal choice. Because a lot of people shit on Ken, but it's very well deserved. He's kind of an ass. So I'm gonna go with Yukari. He's not that bad. He's just bad.
Here we go! Feathered chain! Phoenix Rangers!
Featherman victory! So, you come to fight me, Featherman!
Huh. Merlion, the evil forces have fallen! Stop here!
How dare you oppose me? Minionlings, get them! No!
Merlion, prepare for justice!
Don't be so sure.
Everyone, I've had enough of this! Ultimate arrow! It's over!
And cut!
Perfect. What a take.
Thank you very much!
Well done! That looked really great. Can somebody get wardrobe, please? No, there was something right. I think that's a wrap.
Let's take a 10-minute break.
Okay. I knew there was supposed to be like Power Rangers and shit, or I guess if you want to get more specific, like Super Sentai, but like that shit was exact. And them jumping in, the camera angles they used, the minionlings like dissolving into their goop, the explosions and poses, and that was one of the single greatest things I think I've ever watched. When the director calls us out, the tension in the area dies away. I make my way to the simple tent used as our break room and take a sip of my drink. The scenes for today are done.
I'm tired.
You're on a roll, Feather Pink.
Huh? Do you think so?
The directors had nothing but good things to say, too. Looks like this will have a positive effect on your main job. Speaking of your next shoot.
My main job? My real job's supposed to be studying in college. I'll wipe the sweat from my brow as my manager excitedly tells me about the schedule for my next gig. I'd always had an interest in fashion, so I started taking modeling jobs as a way to earn some pocket money. It's pretty tough since I've had to do things like pose in the middle of winter in just a t-shirt, but thankfully I've been able to get a steady flow of commissions now. Trying to manage both classwork and my job as a model was already hard enough when my manager applied for an audition for a live-action show without my consent, claiming that I should broaden my work horizons. When I mentioned I had practiced archery in high school, it really got their attention. It all made sense to me when I learned that Featherpink's weapon would be a bow and arrow, though. As a result, I ended up as a protector of Earth at a kids' superhero show starting this year. While my acting work makes use of different expressions and my modeling career lets me dress up in a lot of different clothing, it kind of makes me feel like I'm changing who I am, too. It's insanely busy, but it's fulfilling and fun. And yet...
What's wrong? Something troubling you?
Oh, not really.
I checked my cell phone, but Matsuru-senpai still hasn't sent me a response. I have tomorrow off, so I emailed her, asking if she'd like to spend some time with me and go shopping. She's been contacting me less and less often recently, and when she does, it's because of Shadows. I'm one of the Shadow Operatives, a group established by Mitsuru-senpai. I understand that she wants us all to be able to have normal lives, and she said that she wouldn't hesitate to ask for my help if she ever needed it, but it still seemed to me that she was taking everything on by herself. That attitude didn't satisfy me, so I forced her to add me to her team. However, unlike Aegis and the other official members, I'm part of a special unit that only gathers in emergencies, trusted with immediately subduing shadows by force. What did she call it? The auxiliary staff. Something like that anyway. It's wonderful that there have been no situations that called for us to be dispatched, and even if something like that did arise, the official Shadow Operatives are all excellent. There's no need to worry with the likes of Akihiko-senpai and Aegis around, but...
Is it really that hard to just send back a reply? It's Golden Week, for God's sake.
What's this? Don't tell me you've got some boyfriend trouble.
Some girlfriend trouble.
Oh, no, it's nothing like that.
We normally talk when we see each other, so I've never doubted my friendship with her. Still, when things remain unsettled, it's unsatisfying. Maybe I have to get on her case about taking everything on all by herself again. Huh, there's something loud going on outside.
What? What's this helicopter doing here? Is there a helicopter in this shooting script?
Huh?
As the sound gets closer, the tense walls and roof begin to undulate with an intense wind. Oh, I need to do that. I need to... When I rush outside, I see the crew are all looking up and causing a commotion. When I look up, there's a black helicopter descending toward the ground, dangling a rope ladder. The lady in the pilot seat sees me and gestures me towards the ladder. Oh. At that moment, it all becomes clear. I only know of one person who would do this.
I'm glad she came, but she's making too big of a scene.
I'm completely astounded by the utter absurdity of the situation. Before I know it, I'm already running towards the ladder. Pretty absurd. She did it anyways. Just, jumped on off. That's it? Oh, I guess it was just a gathering. Okay. I guess we have to... Oh, okay. Straight up. Now we have to gather Ken, because they were in the helicopter. Okay. This is probably Junpei. No, that can't be Junpei. This is probably Junpei. Because that gives enough time to send him over or whatever, has time to travel. This is probably, God, who am I missing? This is probably like a team meeting, and he probably plays Labrys, would be my guess. Well, let's go to the honor student. I mean, that took like all 5 minutes to go through Yukari's woes and worries.
Man, you were amazing.
Thanks for cheering for me.
You're a real hit with the ladies.
I'm gonna get going for today.
Okay, you better be this good next time, too.
Leave it to me. I'm home, Koromaru.
I forgot he was actually a ladies' man. I completely forgot that they put that in for him. Completely. That's awesome. There is some time until dinner, so I decide to leave the dorm again with Koromaru. This Gekkokan dormitory was where we live. It was briefly closed after Masuru-san and the others graduated. All the equipment from a few years ago was removed, of course, but with the increase in students at Gekkokan, they decided to reopen the dorm. I applied for a room as soon as I heard. The reason I did was because of Koromaru. He had been in Aiki-san's care, but at this dorm he'd be allowed to live with me. Also, to be honest, I felt that living here lets me stay close to my companions who are fighting even now. Back then everyone took turns walking Koromaru, now it's my job. The path to the nearby Naganaki shrine is Koromaru's usual route. Koromaru is quite old for a dog, but as he trots along at his usual pace along our usual path, it makes me think for a moment that all the fighting back then was just a dream. Only when I'm watching Koromaru walk like this can I forget everything and feel a little at ease. We pass through the gateway at the entrance and step onto the shrine grounds. Since it's nearly sundown and there's nobody but us at the serene grounds. Oh, there's nobody else but the serene grounds. I sit down on a bench and sigh to myself. Koromaru notices though and immediately rushes over to nuzzle my leg.
It's nothing, Koromaru.
Even while I'm saying it, I'm sure Koromaru can see through my words. I can understand him in the same way Aiki-san can, but even I can tell what Koromaru's... I can't understand him, damn it. You'd think you would by now, though. Come on now. You're a fucking dog now, right? Aren't you supposed to, like, know your dog or some shit? I pet Koromaru as he looks up at me with a worried whine, and I put my hand in my pocket to pull out the Shadow Officer's badge that Mr. Son had given me. Pull my pocket to whip it out. Oh, hey Ken. Oh my, I know you're a ladies' man, but there's easier ways than that, boy. Koromaru wears the same badge on his collar.
Even if she gave me this, I know it's just for show. I bet everyone else is working hard right now.
This morning I got a call from Sonata-san for the first time in a long while. It seems he'd just come back to Japan from a year-long training journey. Wandering the world, I knew he was the kind of person who would put himself through almost anything in order to get stronger. But this is the sort of thing that you only hear about in stories. Sonata-san told me that he had gone to see Mitsuru-san directly after his return to this country, but he had been immediately dispatched to an emergency. He's currently busy with that, so he just said that he would tell me more about his trip some other time. I know that being a shadow operative must be tough, and he seemed so excited when talking about them. So it's like, I get these pent-up feelings inside me.
I'm a member too, you know.
A member, yes, but only as a part of a secondary unit that only gets called out in extreme situations. Being part of a special suppression unit has a cool ring to it that I like. But the official shadow operatives are each given a unique number. For example, Ike-san is member number 5. We don't have that. We're just auxiliary members. I haven't been called to action yet, and I doubt I ever will be until after I graduate high school. After all, I did promise Mitsuru-san that I would try to live out my childhood as much as I could.
I'm just for show too.
Why, you're still being a fucking shitlord, Ken. Jesus Christ. He's like king of the shits. And following that promise to try as much as I could, I've been acting like a child on the surface. An average middle school student studying, helping out with club activities, and even taking part in the student council. But I haven't officially joined any clubs, and the reason why is because I asked Mitsuru-san to call me for help if she ever needed me. I know that no organization under the police would be able to command an underage person, let alone someone in middle school. I'm only a shadow operative for show, and only a child for show. If this continues, I won't know when I'll ever be able to go back to who I really am.
Making my life my own is actually pretty hard. Sometimes I lose sight of what I'm supposed to be doing.
I think back on the words that the person who saved my life left me. I thought I'd come to understand them sometime, but as time passed, other emotions began to rear their heads.
It's completely dark now. We should head back home, Koromaru.
That was a good little tidbit for play Persona 3. That was a good one. That actually, like, legit made me cry that moment, alright? Like, legitimately, that was fucking sad. That and, like, the other savior moment, I suppose you can call it without spoiling it. Y'all know what it is. We played Persona 3. I wonder if I'll be left behind like this. Would things actually be better if I just forgot about everything? But can I live with myself if I had the power to fight but did nothing with it? I've been thinking a lot about that. I stand up from the bench and look across the dark, quiet temple grounds. I won't reach an answer just by thinking about it. I know that. But at that moment... Koromaru suddenly barks at me. It's been a while since I heard him bark like this. He's been getting more and more mellow these days. What's that sound? Some rhythmic noise is approaching from up above. The wind becomes stronger and the trees around the temple begin to rustle.
That's...
I look up into the sky and a bright light turns on high above. As my eyes adjust, I see a previously hidden black helicopter in the otherwise pitch black sky. It's like something out of a movie. Is it the military? No, that can't be right. As if to answer my doubts, the searchlight streams down, pinning shadows to the ground. Something's happened. That's my first thought. I don't know what, but for some reason I sense elation rising up through my body.
Let's go, Koromaru!
I grip my shadow operative badge tightly and thrust it back into my pocket as I take a deep breath. I run towards the helicopter. So he's excited that he's being called for an emergency. Like, that's how much of a shit Ken is. Because he, like... God, I thought he was better than this. There's his dreams. Like, I want to like Ken. Oh, we can go straight down to Junpei. We'll do Labras first, because she's, she looks like she's lined up pretty good. Plus, I know his story probably won't come in until they actually reach Inaba.